gang, just wreck the party.
You know I got my soldiers with me, baby, we the army. And she ain't have to like my pick, I bet a nigga hoard it.
Hey, Glow be cool, cause I got in this bitch with the carbon. 1942, we be poppin'. Baby, you don't know what you did to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one take your place.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Char. I'm back with another video. Don't mind my kitty in the background. That's Ollie. New crib, new kitty. But I thought I would talk to y'all today and do a little painting, long painting, keep y'all real talk about my thing. It's gonna be like a series that I do about just stripper tips and just different editions. Like this one's gonna be just like a baby stripper edition, and then do one on like urban strip clubs. Say hi. Urban strip clubs edition, gentlemen's club edition. Baby stripper one. This one is gonna go over like all the different types and just like things that I wish I knew, like going whenever I start dancing, and like what to expect kind of too. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna be painting this today. I'm gonna throw like a little picture of my phone. A little adapted, like I changed a little bit though. Don't mess up with my plan. Oh, I'm like, I just need to find a place, so then you have like plants all the time. But new plants coming in. This one is a warm garden mom. She doesn't know where to start yet. She doesn't be seeing really good things. I think he's a fucking recording. I got my brush right here. I got a cup of water. I got my colors. My candle. And I hope you haven't checked out. I think it's time to line up and yeah, this is what I'm working on. It's gonna be nice. Because I know someone's probably gonna say it, like, I'm not endorsing dancing, I'm not telling anything to go dance, I'm not recommending it in anyone's life, I'm not saying it's a bad thing though, but I'm not, encouraging that on anybody, so don't feel like you should go out and be a stripper for watching this video. Just gotta tell you what to expect. First thing I wish I knew is that you don't make $1,000 every night. You're not gonna make $1,000 every night. They don't even, the girls who've been dancing for years don't even make $1,000 every night. Especially in the majority of clubs. Like, second thing, which kind of brings me like to my second thing, is the location is very important. Like, just based off of like money, based off of, the things that they charge for, like the rules that they go by. Like, there's different rules in every state, every area, every club. Like, the third thing, I'm going through these fast, I guess, is like, definitely find like a good club for you, because there's a lot of clubs that are scammy. There's a lot of, I guess that's kind of something that you kind of just learn from being there though, like whether or not you're going to want to, this is a place you want to stick around at, like just kind of like watch the surroundings, because I mean, like I said in the first part, we're going to make, like I said on the first number, you're not going to make $1,000 money. That's like, I definitely did say. $50 in rides, food, everything else. And yeah, they can't all play, like, they can't all play, they cannot. Somebody have that nice, like, it's definitely like, I buy nice shit too, like, it's not crazy at all. That's the good shit that they can always do, like, so, that's nothing, like, people have to get into discussions about this, business makes so much money, and it's so easy to have a great night, like, not all the time, sometimes all the time. New also, like, number 4, just remember that everyone, stay away from the candle. Everyone has been where you are, like, all them girls, you may see them and think like, oh my God, they're just like so much better than me. They just like, they're so pretty, and I'm not this, or I'm not that, or I don't have as much this, or ass, or titties as them. Like, people love every shape, size, demographic, color, all that. There's a place out there for you. Don't think because you're small, big, whatever, that means that no one wants to see you. Like, if you got niggas in your inbox, there's gonna be niggas to come tip you. So, don't, don't feel like just cause you're not, like, be confident, like, that's very, very, I feel like that should low-key be number 1, is be confident in yourself. Like, stripping can definitely raise your confidence, but it can definitely make you very like hypersensitive to everything around you, and like or everyone's opinions of you, and like you're really internalizing all that so that you can like look better, you know, for work and stuff. But it's like it carries on into life, and then you'd be like just really feeling inadequate, I guess, you know. But you gotta really like just remember like that you're enough. Like you don't have to feel like you gotta change, nip, tuck, any of that. Like if you do, more power to you, whatever. But like don't feel like you have to be a successful dancer. Don't feel like you have to have an ass, or you have to have big titties, or that you gotta have a super flat stomach. That like I've seen all the opposite many times. Doing great dancing. Like so don't feel like sorry, I wanted to delete that. So don't feel like, you know, that that's going to be something that really stops you, like, because it's not. Like, it's not. Niggas love it. I think. Oh, look, y'all, these are some that I've already painted on. I'm supposed to be painting over here. Like, look at me going through, like, 5, and then I didn't even paint it. Like, girl, what are you doing? Look, this is what I had started already of the picture that I showed y'all earlier. So, let me go on and get it together. Another thing that I wish I knew is that you're going to have to pay tip-in. You're going to have to pay, or tip out. Where tip-in or tip-out, for people who don't know, is where the customer tip-in or tip-out is for people who do not know. Why did I not explain that? Tip out, for those of you who do not know, is when dancers have to pay the establishment to work, similar to renting a seat at the barbershop, renting a chair to be able to do hair and stuff. So we're charged essentially to rent the stage for our times that we're on stage, or you know, the area that we're commanding, I guess, in the places that do not have a stage, but also demand tip out. You know, we pay whatever set fee at the beginning or the end of the night. It's usually a set fee, but I guess in some places I've heard it's percentages as well, but it can range. It really does range. Like the cheapest one I ever seen was free for $30 if it was a cost. The most expensive one I ever saw was $540 for that. That was in Detroit. That was in Detroit, and there was someone who was in town. Jada Wada was in town, little baby's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, baby's mom, whatever you want to call her now. She was in town, and she was at the club, so they were charging crazy, and they already made good money there, so it was just a big thing. But yeah, definitely expect to have some fees. I'm gonna just say expect to have some fees in general. That's the next one. Just expect that there's going to be a lot of costs. Like, that's what it is. Expect there's going to be a lot of costs. Like, the outfits are not cheap. You can find cheap outfits though, $10, $15, $20. Depending on what type of club you want to work in though, you may have to invest in some more expensive outfits just to be able to get hired and stuff like. But honestly, the basics like the 10, 15, if you're a new dancer, you never danced before, that should do you. But yeah, there's going to be costs as far as that goes with the outfits, the shoes, you know, there's going to be costs with that. They break, they wear and tear pretty fast, honestly. I'm a big pole dancer though, so I do a lot of work on the pole. My shoes do not last more than probably 6 months. A lot of them last less than that, more like 3 months, some of them 90 days. There's theft, you know, people be stealing and stuff, so you can expect to be paying on your outfits and shoes kind of frequently, you know, at least once or twice a month. One of the two of those things you'll probably be needing. Hair, you know, maintaining hairstyles, and a lot of times strippers kind of mix out hairstyles pretty often, so to try and keep like a fresh look, I guess, which is not required. It's definitely not required, but like, you know, can give you just a little bit of an edge if you're always at the same club. So you can definitely expect to be paying for that. Waxing is optional, but I mean, if you go that route, you can expect to be paying for that. Like, there's just a lot of different things that, again, like I said, I wish I knew going in. I keep forgetting to paint, and I said I was gonna sit here and paint with y'all. Like, what am I doing? But yeah, another thing I just, you know, just expect that you're gonna have to pay for some things. It's not gonna be cheap, as well as you're gonna have to tip some people. Security wants tips a lot of times. Bartenders, you don't get no, bartenders, they want tips. DJs, they want tips. And a lot of times, the way to secure that you're gonna get good, treated fairly, or or even just fairly, is by making sure that you tip these people. Sometimes preemptively, sometimes before they've even done anything for you. You're supposed to receive from that person who's doing their job. Like, another thing that I wish I knew. Don't come in expecting people to be super friendly and nice to you. It's a little high schooly, to be honest. Little high schooly, little drama filled. There's a lot of fighting over money. Don't get caught up in the BS, pretty much. That would be my next tip, is not to get caught up in the BS. Because there's a lot of it, and it's not tempting, but people will try to drag you out of character, and you just can't let it happen, essentially. There are a lot of drama starters in the dancing industry. A lot of people who do this job because their temperament makes them unable to do any other job, to be honest. And I'm not speaking on that as for everybody. I'm just saying there's some people like that. They would not be able to hold a real job because of the way that they talk to people or treat people, or their anger problems, or their mental problems, or whatever it may be like. And some of them are just there's a lot of thieves in the strip club too. A lot of people who like to steal. It's like, you just gotta really watch your back. And another thing I would say, another tip I would give is, everyone is not your friend. Like, I won't say don't go in there trying to make friends, but don't think that just because someone was nice to you, that means they're cool with you. Because at the strip club, there's really no loyalty, especially once the money starts getting thrown. Don't think that means that she won't cut you out of a bag, or take your money bag, or if she's seen it laying on the ground, or, don't think that just because you dance with someone in a section or something that means you guys are friends now, or that she won't try and tell people 20 minutes later that you were never in that section and that you tried to steal, or, things turn around. And I'm not speaking off of any personal experiences I've been through. I'm just saying that people switch up a lot in the strip club, so don't be fooled by that either. It's a whole lot of craziness, Right now I'm just filling in the black in between all the rocks. But yeah, let me think. Anything else? Another thing I would say is definitely be yourself. Don't feel like you need to pretend. If anything, make it like an alter ego if you do pretend. Just be yourself. Don't be worried about trying to impress other people. That's the last thing that you should be worried about, is trying to impress other dancers. Don't try and you can definitely look to them for guidance when you're first starting, as far as, moves and stuff to do, or and learn from them in that way. But don't try to be like anybody else. Don't try to do anything just because you've seen it on TV, or just come in and be yourself and do your best. And just, if you're pretty, walk in you're pretty, you're gonna get that job. You're not gonna have no problem getting work as a pretty female. You don't have to. Oh, another thing. You do not have to know pole tricks to be a stripper. You don't even have to do them. I know girls who've been dancing for years don't do any pole tricks, still make money. You don't have to be a pole girl. Personally, that's the thing that I really like to do, is the pole. But no, you definitely don't have to. No one has to. You can definitely still make money without ever getting on the pole, and doing any tricks, I should say. You still be shaking ass and shit next to it, but Yeah, you don't have to, and definitely don't have to know tricks to get hired at places. Now, certain places might really be looking for someone at that moment who does mainly pole tricks, or maybe it's a place where they have higher standards or whatever, and they only want girls who do pole tricks. But for the mass majority, you do not need to know how to do any pole tricks. If it was me and I was going to do my first audition again, the only thing that I would do to prepare is practice some floor work, like some sexy winding or some, a little twerking. It just depends on what club you're going to, which I'm going to do a video on that coming soon after this video on, just stripper tips for different types of clubs, like I was talking about earlier, the urban clubs and the gentlemen's clubs. Like, I'm gonna give some tips for those coming soon, so that's another thing. Another tip I have is just don't let any hater, don't let the haters face you. Seriously, don't let the haters face you. People are going to talk about the baddest bitch in the room. They're going to talk about the newest bitch in the room. They're going to talk about the ugliest bitch in the room. They're going to talk about the flyest bitch in the room. Like, you do not have to appease everybody, and you're not going to. Everybody has a certain type of customer or customers that are interested in them. No matter who you think, you could be like, oh, that girl is ugly as hell to me. But meanwhile, she's getting bread from several other people. Not everybody's the same person's cup of tea. So do not worry about a few people who don't, who ain't feeling you. Like, that has nothing to do with you and your money. Like, that's just not your money. And that's fine. Like, that person's not the person to be tipping you, and that's fine. Don't feel like, oh, I'm skinny, or like, there's no standards for that either. I won't say no standards, but it's not about that. Like, it's definitely not. And then there's a lot of different types of clubs now. They have LGBTQ clubs. They have BBW clubs. They have clubs that focus on pole tricks. They have gay clubs. Like, you do not have to be put in a box. You definitely do not. And with dancing, you can really, another tip is just make it your own. Like, make it your own. Like, really find a way to enjoy doing it, if that's what you want to do. If you don't enjoy it already, find a way to enjoy doing it. And really, embrace, and own the stage. Like, when you're up there, own the stage. Like, that's you. That's all you. Some people view it as a competition, so just, move accordingly if they're giving you those vibes. Like, did they treat things like a competition? You don't have to associate with them or deal with them. Like, you never know who you're gonna be dancing on, though. So another tip I would give is just to be cordial with everyone, because you never know. It's just easier at work too, of course. Like, at any other job, you walk in, you say hi to everybody. Like, try to be cordial with people. Doesn't mean shit won't happen to you, but it can kind of keep stuff from happening to you, and it can put you on to more money. And it's just better for the work environment. Like, who wants to come to work and not speak to nobody and all be stank-faced? Like, I'm so sick of that at the club, honestly. I try to be polite and at least be like, hey, how you doing? Like, how y'all doing? Like, what's up? Like, what's up with y'all? But yeah, definitely being cool, like, saying hi. Nothing to say a little hi, bye. Some of y'all be acting like you can't speak. Like a bitch can't speak. I don't know if I'm finished this painting by the end of the video, because I said a lot already and really don't have much time. But if I do finish it, I'll put it in insert a picture of it somewhere. Another thing that I wish I knew when I started dancing, or before I started dancing, is that new booty does great. New booty has no problem, I won't say no problem making money, but they do really well at it. They are excited to see you. Do not be worried that they're going to look at you and be like, all these other girls know so many tricks and I don't know any tricks. They're excited to see you because those other girls have been here many times. They are sick of them. They want to see the new booty on duty. They have never seen you before, and a lot of guys unfortunately like that innocent BS, the not knowing what she's doing and being new to the scene, and take advantage of that. Take advantage of the fact that you are new on the scene. You're gonna have good nights your first several nights. A lot of times, especially if you pick a decent club where there's good foot traffic and people actually come out, like, could have some very good nights your first several nights. Especially you take a little time to practice, like just looking sexy on the floor. Like, don't even focus on thinking about the pole and that. Like, just think about, how can I walk sexily around the pole? How can I entice the customer with stuff that I already know how to do? Do what you already know how to do. If you're gonna try and copy someone, it's gonna show. It's gonna be obvious. It's not gonna look good. Just do what you know how to do. Like, work in your comfort zone. That's what's gonna be most beneficial to you as a new dancer. Like, is doing what your strong suits are and sticking to them, and gradually expanding on those strong suits. But your first couple of nights, like, really just practice on being sexy, and when you got a little downtime, or you feel like people aren't watching as much, try some stuff on the pole. You really don't have to get a pole at your house, in my opinion. I don't think at all. I think you can just get on the floor, do a little practice, like, literally just do a little practice, like, not that, but do a little practice, like bouncing. Bounce. Okay, what would be? Do a little practice, do a little practice, just getting loose, trying some stuff. Yeah, just kind of like, just get loose, like, practice just a couple things, even if you just got a couple things that you can do. Like, there's a couple things that I would suggest, like, this is a move I would suggest that everybody can do. I don't want to pull it straight from the front, but you know, you kind of just, it's like you bring your hips, your legs together, like clap. No, but and then you bring your hips up, and then when you start to bring them down, you clap. It's like that. That's an easy one you can do. Then you can do a little, you know, just like get comfortable. There's a couple things you can do, you know. Those are like some beginner little basic stuff, couple little basic things like that you could do just like on your very first time on a pole. Like, if your audition would be your first time ever being on stage or ever like being on the pole, like this would be a good thing. A couple little things that you could do just to have, you know, just to know that you can go up there, you got a couple things that you're going to do that are well. If you're already good at twerking, stick to what you know and do a lot of that, especially if you're at an urban club. Now, if you're at a gentleman's club, you might want to practice some other things to have, just in case they don't like twerking, which I'm going to talk more about in the gentleman's club video, like the little stripper tips. But stuff like this, in and out with the legs. Bow, 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 bow. We could do like a wind again with it. I'm trying to turn my knees. Like wind. Ooh. But yeah, that's another thing you could do. Another little, it's like beginner move. Just so you have a couple things, I guess. What else? Like, another tip, a very, very important tip. Slow down. Everything that you do it for at least 4 counts. But really, try and do it for 8. So what I mean by that is, say you're going to decide you're getting down and you're twerking. And even I still need to work on this, like the slowing down part. You get down and you're twerking. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you really should be doing 8, like you want to have it going for a while. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can keep going for real. I think you could do probably about 10, 15, and then stop right here. Switch into a different move. A lot of posing. You don't gotta necessarily do a lot of tricks. You can do a lot of poses. They like to look at you like, don't forget to show your face. If you know you're beautiful, show your face off, girl. If you're someone who's pretty and you don't just have the body, you're not no butterface. You better keep looking at the crowd and give them some smiles. That's definitely a tip. Give them some smiles. Give them some waves. Like, you could even like reach down or like interact with the customers while you're on stage. That's a very good tip too. Like, interact with the customers. They really like when you interact with them. Just talk to them even. Tell them this is your first time on stage. When you're new, tell people you're new as much as possible. That's another tip. Tell people you are new as much as possible because they love new people. Like I just told you earlier, they love new booty. So best thing you can do is let them know you're new booty. Act like, oh my God, like you just feel so comfortable around them when everybody else is like, you know, like make them feel like, I've never done this before, but I want you to be my first lap dance, like pop my cherry. I want you to be my first intro to like this. Like, you're my first customer I talk to. That you're just, and make you know that makes them feel like special too as well. Like, just like when you're new, I would really juice that for as long as you could, because they really love new girls. Trying new clubs is always good for that reason, because they've never seen you before. They're like, oh, new boutte, new boutte. I'm for it. But yeah, I wouldn't focus on doing any crazy stunts like off the bat. Keep it simple. Keep it to what you know, and you're gonna be fine. Like, be confident. Walk out there head high, shoulders back, confident. Do not, be prepared. I would say 3 things to bring for sure. 1 to 2 outfits, shoes, and a bag for money. Whether it be, you could get a Crown Royal bag. You could get any type of little knapsack type bag would work. I've seen girls with backpacks. I like backpacks too, like little mini backpacks. Definitely get those 3 things. That's definitely essential. And then in your bag, like, once you start, I feel like I'll do like a video on this, like what's in my bag, but just a couple basic things like spray deodorant, spray perfume, or whatever type of perfume you use, because it does get hot and you gotta refresh. Even if you put it on before you leave, you gotta refresh. Lotion, but try not to use that too much. Lotion is a no-no, honestly, because on the pole, like, it makes the pole slippery. Do not use lotion, honestly. And if you do, try and use it literally right after you get out the shower. So honestly, I would not advise to bring lotion in your bag. Use it right after you get out the shower, so that way it soaks into you and you will not be oily and oiling up the pole and making bitches like me who do all the pole tricks slip. I'm done. But yeah, and as you start doing pole tricks yourself, you'll find it really hard to do that with the oils on the pole and stuff and on your legs. So yeah, because your legs are definitely a heavy part of you being able to get them pole tricks executed. People don't know that either. Definitely work on your walk around the pole too. A lot of people don't think about this, but like just having a sexy walk, like an enticing walk. And I might do, once I get my pole up, and because like I said, I just moved this week. But once I get my pole up, I think I'll do like more in-depth tutorial on like just like a basic routine that you could do that could get you hired at the club or something. Like just very basic stuff, like and even some like beginner pole tricks that you could do that without even, with no practice essentially, because they're just like, either little posy moves or they're just like a simple like fireman spin or something. But yeah, that's why the biggest things, like, nobody makes $1 million a night. Definitely not every night. Be confident. Be confident. Not everybody has a good night. Be confident. Not every night is a good night is what I mean. Oh my God. Not every night is a good night. Be confident. Slow down. So those are like the main ones that are really super important. Like, and of course, like, hygiene and stuff too. Like, I'll get into that on another video. Like, but that's very important too, obviously. But yeah, just those are the main things, I think. Like, if y'all have any other questions or any other segments, like some stripper tips that you want me to do, like this is, like I said, this will be the first of a mini series, I guess, of me talking about just different things, like just different tips and things relating to the strip club. So let me know if you guys like this video. If you want more videos like this, like definitely leave me a like, comment, subscribe, okay? Yeah, I never finished my painting, I didn't, but I put a lot of black in between the rocks, which I think actually gives it a lot more, like, depth here than the curves of the painting. It's coming along, but when it's done, if it's done before I release this video, I'll definitely include, like, a finished picture of it. Still working on it, so stand by for that. But I love y'all. Hopefully you like this video and hopefully it helps somebody. It's just my personal opinion and I'm here to argue with y'all in the comments. But yeah, hopefully this helps somebody and have a great rest of your day, y'all. Bye. Hey.